if you're a simple man like myself, modern politics might be hard to follow. All of the lingo and jargon that politicians use can get confusing. And because of this, I often find myself struggling to keep up in the handforth parish council meeting sessions. I get easily confused, and I'm not 100% sure, what's going on, what's all the fuss about, why is everyone getting so riled up? So I was horrified that on the 10th of December something happened that truly eluded me. I was very confused and quite upset, actually. It was quite a horrifying event, if I may say so. But it's taken me, obviously, it's been almost 2 months since the event, and I think I've had enough time now to come to terms with it and give my opinion on the matter. And I'm very thankful to Janet Quinn, who's a beloved member of our community that we all know very, very well, for uploading the session onto YouTube, so I'm able to see it and mull over it, so to speak. But that's what I'm going to be doing this video. I'm going to be giving my thoughts and trying to understand what happened on that fateful day. So yeah, I'll get started right now.
Hello again.
Hello again. I thought I wasn't going to get in then.
Lay and start. I had to wash my hands.
Oh, that's all right then. We'll forgive you.
We're all encouraged to, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Just apologising for the delay, though, because we just ran a little.
So as you can see, a nice slow start, quite cordial. Everyone's kind of just greeting each other, and they're getting all the all the formalities out of the way. Sue's talking about washing our hands. Everyone finds that a little bit funny, a little bit of COVID-19 humor, until the handforth PC clerk comes into the fray, and he might not look like much, but he's about to cause a lot of problems.
When do we plan to start?
Yes, you heard that right. The handforth PC clerk has just asked when the meeting is going to start, and there was a small voice in the background that told him to fuck off. This is the first signifier that there is in fact some trouble in paradise.
I think we could start any moment, Chairman. I think it's perhaps helpful just to go through the same things as we went through before, which is just to encourage people to switch off their microphones, because it does reduce the background.
Yeah, right, on that.
Bing, which tells us that somebody else wants to come in. So I'll continue to admit people if you'd like to start the meeting, Chairman.
Can we be assured that we won't be thrown out of the meeting like we were last time?
As long as we have reasonable behaviour from everyone, no one would be excluded from the meeting.
I was thrown out of the meeting. So was Councillor Birthill, so was Councillor Brewerton.
As a point of order, Chairman, could we start the
Again.
Chair.
Okay. I'll go for. Okay.
Chair.
We haven't started the meeting yet. Do you want to speak anyway?
Yes, I'd like to ask a point of order.
I'm in.
We're not in a meeting, so points of order are not.
When's it started yet? No.
Points of order apply during the debates, and I want to ask Jackie, was it you who quoted a point of order?
Yes, it was indeed.
Are you here as the proper officer?
I am here offering support to Handforth Parish Council in the conduct of this meeting this evening.
You're not the proper officer.
Is that as clerk or proper officer?
There's no difference between clerk and proper officer.
Of course there is.
Yes, there is.
You must know the basic law.
Are we
I
going
would
to,
have thought.
are we going to start this meeting?
It isn't the role of somebody who, however kindly, volunteers to do the clerking for a meeting to act as a proper officer if they haven't so been appointed. That's against the law.
It's been called by
and let me also quote to you the standing orders of Handforth. Will you stop talking?
We're only 3 minutes into the meeting and already Jackie's authority has been called into question. Things are starting to get heated, as you can hear. The handforth PC clerk, as he so calls himself, has just raised his voice in the meeting, which is absolutely unacceptable in my opinion. But this is where shit really starts to hit the fan.
Unless we are prepared.
Will you please listen?
We'll go the same.
Will you please listen? Will you stop being whatever it is you're trying to be and just clerk the meeting if that's what you want to do?
Chairman.
Points of order, according to our standing orders, are determined by the chair. If you want to raise a point of order as a councillor, you ask if you can raise a point of order, you state it, and then the chair decides. It is not for the clerk to raise a point of order. It is not for the clerk to decide a point of order.
Councillors.
And you must be aware of that, or at least God knows what you're doing in your job if you're not aware.
Start this meeting.
It is.
Or shall we elect an alternative chairman?
Oh, hiya. I'm just in a meeting at the moment. Can I give you a call back when it finishes?
Typical Julie here, showing a complete lack of professionality, taking a phone call in the meeting, especially when things are so rough at the beginning. She needs to learn how to use Zoom before she partakes in future meetings, in my opinion, and I will be relaying this to Janet.
Okay, all right, bye.
So, Chairman, albeit late, shall we get this meeting started?
Can't see Jackie Weaver.
Who's this woman? There.
Right, we'll start the meeting, and I want to repeat what I said at the beginning of the last meeting, that this meeting has not been called according to the law. The law has been broken.
It has been properly
Will
called.
you please let the chairman
Mrs. Weaver, please.
If you disrupt this meeting, I will have to remove you from it.
You can't.
It's only the chairman who can remove people from a meeting. You have no authority here, Jackie Weaver. No authority at all.
She's just kicked him out.
I-
Just a minute. No, she's kicked him out. Don't. She's kicked him out. Don't.
Yes, Aled, she has kicked him out, and quite rightly so. I think he really overstepped the mark there, questioning her authority. And I think that kind of behaviour has no place in the meeting, and I think anyone who exhibits that kind of behaviour should be kicked out. And I think that's the path that Aled is going down also. I'm going to let the rest of the events unfold, and you make your own decision on them, because they truly are despicable on the part of Aled and what I assume is his father, whose head is obscured from the frame for whatever reason.
This is a meeting called by two councillors.
Illegally?
You may now elect a chairman.
No, they can't, because the vice chair's here. I take charge. Read the standing orders. Read them and understand them.
Dear me.
Appalling behaviour.
Chairman gone.
A copy of this will, in fact, be sent to the monitoring officer.
I hope
the
so.
vice chair.
Out of those people,
Where's the chairman?
we
Read
elect,
the standing orders. It now reverts to me.
Where's the chairman gone?
Read the standing orders.
like to elect a chairman for this meeting.
You don't have to elect a chairman. There's a chairman already installed. The chairman of the council.
Councillor Burkle, we've been through this.
You don't. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. The chairman of the council is the chairman of the council.
Yeah, I'm going to subpoena everybody. Let's go.
Councillor Burkle, could I ask you to be respectful to Jackie Weaver, please?
Would now elect a
Here comes the subpoena.
chairman.
I want to leave. Just you go and out then. She's kicked Barry out, so I'm leaving. No, Barry. No, Barry has gone. I'll stay. We're trying to have a Teams meeting, you fool. We're trying to have a Teams meeting, you fool. We can't if you've got that. Oh, you just don't.
Jackie Weaver, I find that the person on Aled Brewerton's Zoom is being very disrespectful to everybody.
Oh, coming from you, from Birkenhead, that sounds good.
Wow.
Thank God for that.
So the young man on Aled's feed, as you can see, they're getting just uncontrollably angry, just despicable behaviour for a meeting such as this. If you thought that the raising of the voice earlier in the meeting was bad, you really haven't seen anything yet, because that was awful. And it was just treating Jackie just really being truly horrible to her. And as Jackie rightly called it, it was appalling behaviour. And Sue obviously always chiming in as the voice of reason. It's quite hard to gauge what's going on here. But I believe that Aled thinks the meeting was called illegally. I don't know. I'm not 100% aware of the legal process behind this. But the chairman, if I remember correctly, the chairman is actually off ill, and that means that another chairman should be elected to take over the meeting as a stand-in chairman. You can see it really just it degrades into almost, schoolyard behaviour, with Aled exhibiting his Joker laugh at Jackie, trying to call order in the meeting. And we also see Barry Burkill come in, again just completely misunderstanding how a meeting like this is supposed to work. I found Aled's the young Aled on the call. He almost sounded like Gollum when he said when he said we're trying to have a meeting, you fool. I don't know. They really can't have he really has a sad little life to be treating Jackie in such a way. And thankfully she did the right thing and removed them before things got too heated. But you'll find out later that this really isn't the end of the woes that they've caused.
Now elect a chairman for the meeting, please.
Yes.
Jackie.
Can I propose John Smith, please?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Okay. My first point is to apologise to Jackie, but welcome to handforth.
As you can see, John here chimes in, and we find out that this is actually Jackie's first meeting with her being appointed on the council, and he really is at a loss for words. He can't think of what to say. As I've said before, this kind of behaviour is completely unacceptable.
Item 1.
Just before we move off, might it be to reassure the members of the public who are present that the meeting has been properly called, that in fact 2 councillors have called the meeting, which is quite proper, and as a courtesy, because the handforth chairman and vice chairman and a fellow councillor joined the meeting, as a courtesy we allowed the chairman to take the chair. But now that they have left, it is perfectly appropriate to re-elect a chairman for this meeting.
Jackie there just laying down the law, just setting everything straight for everyone. The meeting had been called legally, and the 3 jokers, the 4 jokers might I say, have made a complete fool of themselves. And if they were still in the meeting, had they not been kicked, if I was in their position, I would have just left out of embarrassment.
David, I'll say it for your benefit and for the benefit of any members of the public watching, that the clerk, as we know, is not here due to circumstances beyond his control. However, I would state that the 3 councillors that are still in the room have nothing to do with his absence and would welcome him to walk through the door tomorrow back into his office. Things are being investigated by Cheshire East. And I'm afraid that's all I can say. I'd like to say a great deal more, but unfortunately, I'd have to leave it at that. I hope that answers your question, and I apologise that I can't give you any more information.
Hopefully that explanation from John cleared things up as to what all the fuss was about. The chairman is not present for reasons beyond their control, but if they were there, then happily they would be appointed to be the chair of the meeting. But due to their absence, someone else has to be appointed. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit in this meeting, and a lot of local things come up that without prior context don't make a lot of sense and aren't relevant to the main beef of the hearing. So I'll do that now.
Ian, you're muted.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you. Right.
Just, I noted before the chairman departed from the meeting, the chairman of the council, I noted that his label on his video said clerk of Handforth Parish Council. Could anyone please clarify how that came about and whether that is in fact the case right now?
Thank you, Ian. I must admit, I didn't notice that.
I have a photograph of it.
I can only assume it was, did you say it was a badge or was it actually his tag on his laptop?
It's where, like you see Ian Ball on my video, it said Clerk Handforth Parish Council on his.
Yes. I have no idea how that has happened, and I am, as far as I'm concerned, and any other councillors here this evening, he is not the clerk of parish council, whether or not he declares himself to be or not, or makes himself a badge that says I'm the clerk of parish council. My understanding is he cannot do it.
No,
it is not.
I also have an email from him saying that he has taken over as clerk of Handforth Parish Council.
I'd like to perhaps ask Jackie, if could you give us a chart view on this?
Yes, certainly, Chairman. Yes, most definitely. I did. Thank you. I did notice the moniker on the screen, and it did make it quite difficult putting names to whoever. But having followed this quite closely, the chairman simply declared himself clerk and notified everybody of the case, and the remaining members, quite correctly, have refused to recognise that that position. But as Councillor Smith says, I'm afraid there's no way of stopping him calling himself clerk. Okay. Please refer to me as Britney Spears from now on.
Brilliant there from Brittany. Again, just the plot completely thickens. It turns out that the chairman, or should I say ex-chairman, has been declaring himself the clerk, the new clerk of the Handforth Parish Council, going as far as to email the locals and tell him that he is the new clerk, which I find to be, I think he's just gone completely mad with power, and maybe he's losing his faculties with age. But either way, I don't think he should. I think he should be very much penalised for this and maybe removed from the council. I think that would be an appropriate course of action, in my opinion. And we'll just continue to see how this progresses.
May I interject there, Chair?
Yes, certainly.
Would it be acceptable to send a message to them to say if they are prepared to come back and behave in the proper manner, then we would happily have them back in the meeting?
No, I'm against that, Sue, because they've already disrupted the planning.
Okay.
They've also disrupted the community. And what I felt really aggrieved at was the fact that someone in the Bruton household sat there like a laughing hyena.
Can I just make a suggestion? I'd like to propose a motion that should those who have been, should we say, excluded currently from the meeting be allowed back in, and would the councillors vote in favour or against? Any of those in favour of letting them back in?
Not unless they promise to behave.
No. Any of those against? Promises mean nothing, Sue.
Okay, against.
I'm against.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Jackie.
You know, John's right here. Promises do mean nothing, especially when you're dealing with men such as them. But I really like Sue's response here. I think she really, as usual, she sees the best in people, and she thinks that maybe naively thinks that a promise is enough to guarantee their good behaviour in the session. But it would just guaranteed it would just continue in the same vein that it did previously. And Cynthia came in there just scathing, calling the member of the Allard household a lapping hyena, which I think was really just really scathing, but very, very apt on her part. The rest of the meeting went off without a hitch. It was an expected series of events for a meeting such as this. Some important points were raised that you're welcome to go and watch yourself, such as the preservation of the local pubs that have been affected by their loss of business due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and the possibility of converting the dilapidated Mermaid pub into a community centre of sorts for karate lessons and photography sessions and the like, and of course the proposed park and ride system. But really, just wanted to show that the awful events that conspired at the beginning of that session, and if anything else happens because of this, and if there's any more drama, I will be reporting on it. So thank you very much for watching, everyone.